Whoa. Okay, that's the things. So, optical one, optical number 3, optical number 3. Okay, switch that on. Number 1. I'm not going to be using the matrix, but turn it on. I'll stop that. Motor. Format's a long window. Oh, that's gone offline now because I haven't been using it. So that's the problem if you don't use the crown amplifier for a while and the computer goes into sleep mode. The this goes offline. So I had to turn it back on. But, it's a bit tricky. So I'm just going to turn it back on. I'll turn the overhead off. Experimental UCI. Okay. It's optical number 3. Oh, yeah, it's still on optical number 3. Okay. Switch that over to A. AC-3 look. Ooh. Wow.
Apollo 13 flight controller.
Where's my glasses? Oh. You can see if I got my glasses. Wow. Flipping heck. Yeah, the AC-3 pressing is pretty good. No edge enhancement, unlike the DTS. Flipping heck. Still got that digital, what's it there? That digital clip sound there. Wow. Why is this lead always? I'm going to put this lead in a different way. Wow. Wow.
Velocity right on the line. Land wheel pitching. 13,
Wow.
Altitude. It's on the line. Velocity right on the line.
that Saturn 5 in my chest. Yeah. Don't need JBL synthesis like some guy in Texas with a room within a room within a room within a room. What's he got? A TARDIS? Don't need to go out and spend money out on JBL synthesis. Just good old JBL professional cinema. Luckily, I could, oh, my LFE, I could feel that Saturn 5 in my chest. Oh. Oh, I like that bass change there. Wow. Oh, oh, that change from exterior to interior. Wow. Wow.
Altitude is on the line. Velocity right on the line. Altitude is on the line. Velocity right on the line. Roll, complete for your pitching. 13, standby, 1 Bravo.
Wicked.
Altitude is on the line. Velocity right on the line. Roll, complete for your pitching. 13, standby, 1 Bravo.
Wicked. Wow. Wow.
Yes, this is the state team. We've got a center engine cut off. Go on the other floor.
Wow.
Yes, this is the state team. We've got a center engine cut off. Go on the other floor. That 13, we show the same. Brewster, can you confirm that center engine cut off?
Roger, that flight looks like we lost it.
Find out what's I gonna do to him. Stand by flight. I need to know if the IU is correcting for the number 5 shutdown. That center engine cut off.
Roger, that flight looks like we lost it.
Find out what's I gonna do to him. Stand by flight. I need to know if the IU is correcting for the number 5 shutdown.
Wicked. The AC-3 is my benchmark demo disc. The DTS one has been okay for years, but I should have got this AC-3 one years ago. But is it different to the, say, like I think it's the signature, was it the collector, whatever edition, I can't remember what it's, Dolby Digital DVD Region 2, Region 1, because I got the DTS DVD Region 1, I did the signature collection. Oh crikey, how many Apollo 13s have I got? I haven't got Apollo 12 or 11, Apollo 9, Apollo 10. I haven't got those movies yet. Still waiting for the prequels to come out.
Our trim is good. Looks like we just had our glitch for this mission.
Wow. You can still hear that Saturn 5 or whatever it is in the surrounds or in the background, sort of thundering, Niles up. Wow.
Fuel pump. This is it.
What are those fuel pumps? Wow. It's like you're having an indigestion. Flipping feel those fuel pumps.
Fuel pump. This is it.
Oh,
A few bumps and we're hauling the mail.
oh, that sort of growl on the LF. And then you can hear the surrounds kind of. You can hear the the fuel going through the manifolds, and you hear this kind of eerie sound. But it needs to be the dog's bollocks. See, I can think, and I think, shoot. I can only put more 8330s in this room. Mark IIs. Though, if they're not much available, because they're getting scarce now, they're like strays, you know. They're the real thing. They're the real deal. The THX, the real part of the real deal. I mean, do you see JBL Synthesis saying it was used in a THX cinema? Nope. Their screen speakers are too small. They're not going to be able to handle the bass. They won't have the. They're only designed for a small room. They're not going to be able to do it. You need to get the real McCoy. I mean, mind you, you look at that other home theatre, you know, that other home theatre. Crikey, JBL 5674s. That's it, JBL 5674s. Bloody hell. You got to have a huge bloody room for those. Only disappointing thing is that the guy with his home theatre, he's only got 3 of them. He hasn't got 5 of them. And he's got a JBL SP75. Oh, crikey. And he's not even using the left centre, right centre. Oh, crikey. But either way, flipping those 5674s. Though I've only heard them once. That was Odeon Leicester Square. And I wasn't really, I really wasn't wowed. I was a little bit disappointed. Then again, it was a crappy movie made by George Clooney called Leatherheads. What the bloody hell do you expect? You expect Apollo 13, Dynamics? That was a boring bloody movie, and I want my £20 back. Thank you, George Clooney. George Clooney, I want my £20 back. Bloody 2009 I saw that. Bloody disappointment. I had a neck ache. Bloody worst bloody auditorium ever sat in. Bloody seats don't recline. You come out with a neck ache. But then I think the dynamics on that movie are probably not brilliant. So, you know, it was a crap movie, Leatherheads. Oh, yeah, pity really. I've only heard the 4675 A's at the Odeon Leicester Square, but they sounded way better at High Wycombe and at the Empire Leicester Square. Way, way better. They were like, okay at Odeon, just as they were okay at the local downtown. But they're a little bit better than Tower Park. But then I know what to listen for. I know how to remember the, you know. Just need some more. Just need more 8330s. Go down the side and then tune it so they sound like one single screen speaker. So you got loads of speakers for surrounds, and then you balance the level until it sounds like one single speaker, but you got an incredible uniformity then. But I'm still hearing hotspots. I need it like all. I know how it should sound. I could, for a test, I could, if I could. It's not easy to do it on this Storm processor. You know, they don't even put a bloody headphone output on the bloody thing. Crying out loud. And if it was a headphone output, would it monitor all the channels, all of the channels combined? And then you can use the solo muting and then mute certain channels. I could put headphones on, listen to the surrounds. So I could turn all the surrounds off in the room, put headphones on, and listen just to the surrounds whilst still listening to the LCR on the screen in the room. That's something that probably most home theaters couldn't even think about doing, but it is an interesting test. I have done it before, and it's like, oh wow, if I only had more speakers for the surrounds, it would sound like what it sounds like on the headphones. Yeah, this AC-3 is brilliant. Brilliant. What's that? I can barely read this. Hang on, I've just seen a comment appear. I'll zoom up the, what's it? What? Daylight robbery. Not very good mixing. Maybe it was the film. I haven't been to that. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Is it Twickenham? Is it Pinewood? I wouldn't have a clue. I'm sure it's pretty good. But then that was donkey years ago, wasn't it? It's probably been revamped. I was probably ranting. You know, you need to they need to have people where they can not program them like sheep, but more or less pretty close. So, memorize how it feels, how it sounds, and then you go to certain cinemas, and then you think, because you got a notepad, you got all the notes, and you know, okay, this scene, it felt like it on my chest, or it felt like this in the seat or area or whatever. Everything's different. Everything is different. It's not like you buy a can of Pepsi. They're all the same. I haven't weighed them to see whether they are got literally the same content in the weight in the can. The can, you look at the can, you think, oh yeah, it's the same volume. So you need same speakers, same amplifiers. Well, you got the same process, same film print. Boom, boom, boom. It should all translate literally, but no one's going to do that. No one's going to duplicate it. Tear down all the dubbing stages, tear down all the cinemas, and rebuild everything identical. So practically what you would hear, feel, even sine wave tones, it should translate. But no one's going to do that worldwide. But they do it for Pepsi, Coca-Cola. They make the same flipping thing, don't they? So, but does it taste the same? So if I have brand A Pepsi from USA import, and then a brand B that's manufactured in the UK, do they taste the same? They probably won't be even the same can design. Similar, but yeah, same thing. You need the same, so everything translates. Or it's a case of, it's close. You know, speaker placement is so critical. Even even moving a speaker a tiny little bit, and you do a frequency sweep microphone in the same position, you just move that speaker, just move it back a little bit, and then move it forward a little bit, and I'm talking less than an inch. And then you look at the overlays, and they're completely the opposite. It's like, huh? Just by moving that well, look, let's just leave it there. That's way better. We're not going to get any. Oh, yeah, but you move to another seat in the room. Oh, crikey, it's awful. It's just like real life at the end of the day. You only hear it once, Mr. Bond. Yeah, you only hear it once. I mean, you sit around in seats, move from seat to seat to seat to seat to seat, every single seat, and you take notes, or you got microphones in every single seat, and you do multitudes of frequency sweep until you got something that shows like, every seat's going to be completely, utterly different. Of course it is. It's in three-dimensional space. If it were Tron and you're on the grid, I would imagine inside the mixing console or the processor, final mix, it is absolute wow. But once it gets out into it changes. And you've got to use some technique, or I don't know. Whisper. Yeah, that was a chocolate Cadbury's bar. Yeah. I don't know why they call it Whisper, because it never whispered. It's just a glorified piece of chocolate. Yeah, I've heard one or two. I think I got some of those films. I think I do have a few. I think I do have a few here. Of course, this is going. Oh yeah, Event Horizon. Oh yeah. Watch it on the base. Watch it on the base on the Event Horizon. Crikey, that knackered the sub-bass speaker at the local cinema. Really, they are underpowering. They should have had more of those subs, and they wouldn't have knackered the damn thing, because they would have more than they would need. And it played great on the first day, went back 2 days later, and it's knackered. Starts making distorting noises. Either the amplifier got knackered, or the sub bass driver got completely knackered too. One or the other. But yeah, Event Horizon. I think I got that on AC-3 Laserdisc. Oh yeah, it's better on AC-3 than it is on DVD. Why should it be? Yeah. Oh yeah, the pianist. Yeah, the bomb exploding. Psh, boom. Yeah, I know. And played that DVD in years, but then, oh yikes! It's oh my goodness, here we go. It's I haven't got that one. What was that? Oh no, I thought that was LA Confidential. Fear Light Slight kidnap me, bloody hell. I'll put a sock in this Apollo. is that? No, that's not the. No, no, that's the other Romeo and Juliet. Where I die, be Romeo. Oh. Wow. Blade Runner. Yay. That sounds like a bloody airbuster, that movie. Crying out loud. It's got a lot of warmth, or a lot of, no, well, it doesn't have warmth. Bass warmth, no. It's just got a lot of low. Nice atmospheric. I think I prefer playing the Dolby Stereo than the DVD 5.1. It's weird why the end credits just go down to 2-channel. No, hang on, 2, 1, 2. No, left, right, and surround on the end credits. And there's no center channel. Because Dolby Stereo, yeah, you hear center because it's a difference of the left and the right. There's not a lot there I've got here. But I think these were mostly sort of Pinewood, aren't they? Pinewood, I wouldn't know about. Never visited Pinewood. Never liked to visit a dub stage and hear what they sound like. Or maybe a demo. Because everything now has got a digital projector, so everything can be connected up to even a Laserdisc player. It is doable. Just patch it in on a patch bay, and then to see how that, you know. So I'm still curious why Tom Holman would say, "God awful, this sounds dreadful in the home." Oh, it sounds better on the dub stage. Why would that be? I mean, he's not using the same speakers in the home. No one in their right mind back then would use cinema PA speakers in the home. And if it sounds a bit harsh-ish and too bright, just put an EQ filter on. That's all I do. I just put a PEQ and I just turn it down a few dB, and it sounds. I don't need a near-field mix. Keep it theatrical. Keep it original. Don't tamper with it. I just alter and make it fit the room. But when it's been tapped, and I think, God almighty, what have they done with the bass? They've axed it off at 80 hertz or something. Crying out loud. Listen to those James Bond bloody movies on Amazon. Oh my goodness. The Spy Who Loved Me. It's got all the bass chopped off. I put it on Laserdisc, it's pressing on my body. That's how it was sort of similar, I think. I'm not sure the DVD. I can't remember the DVD. I think the DVD's not too bad. It's similar-ish to the AC-3 Laserdisc. But then they did the bloody remix. God awful. Bloody for the Blu-ray. God. Oh, it's a superior format, everybody. If I want to turn all the bass off here, that's easy. I'll just go to the THX and just cut it all off at 200 hertz. Or I'll just mute it and listen to the HF horns. The HF horns make the bloody OLEDs TV sound like it was back in the 1970s. Those little tiny little mono speakers, you know, and the box in the TV was acting like an enclosure. but probably had very bad resident noises and honky sounds and whatever if it was measured. Oh.
Looks like we just had a glitch for this mission.
Wow. Coming up to staging.
13, stand by for staging.
Copy that.
Oh, wow.
Stand by for staging.
Copy that.
ST shut down.
Flight
Whoa.
will be cut up in 10 seconds.
13, this is Houston. Predicted cutoff is 12 plus 3-4. Over.
You see the same film over and over and over in different auditorium sizes. How many auditorium sizes did I see Apollo 13? Crikey, right, I've got to think 95. First day, ABC, downtown. 1, 2, probably 3 times, and then on the 4th time saw it at DTS at Tower Park, screen number, oh yes, ABC, screen number 1, and then Tower Park, screen number, was it left, right, going in, no, it was screen number 5 on the left, screen number 5, which is a large auditorium. And then saw it, I don't know, 8 more times or something at the ABC, Dolby SR or whatever it was at the time. And then it moved down into, once it did weeks and weeks and weeks. This is no Mary Sue Star Wars rubbish. This just plays for weeks and weeks and weeks because it was so damn popular. And then it moved down into screen number 2. I heard it down there. Different size, awkward auditorium. Ugh. Awkward shape on the walls. It just made it so awkward to hear stereo across the front. The surrounds probably the only thing that worked okay, but the screen channels were very difficult to localize sound. And then it moved into screen number 3, which I think they only had it playing in mono, but on a projector that had a bit of a wonky, what was it? Was it the intermittent sprocket or was it the sound head on the optical? I think it was the sound head. It was a bit wonky because every time you hear a Roger bleep, it kind of made a wobbly sound because it's like a sine wave tone of a Roger bleep, and it had a kind of wobbly sound. And it was pretty distracting. And then, of course, in the home. Probably sounded better at the ABC screen 1. It was okay in DTS at Tower Park, but not enough bass, and they had no sub bass speakers in that auditoriums at the time. But it had a good, clear presence of sound across the stage channel, localizing all the sounds, Foley effects, and all the teeny little nuances, all the frequencies. Oh yeah, I was tuned in, sat right front and center, so I can hear the LCRs clearly, and the surrounds were just behind me on the ceiling. See, even that bit there. Oh, it should have overhead sound. See, there it is. It's in the movie. There's yeah, it should have an overhead sound there. In a vacuum. What would it sound like in a vacuum? A very kind of not too. It'd have to have some sort of presence, like kind of like if I do that, I can sense a pressure in the air change. It's very eerie, but if it was a larger, something a bit larger that I can hold, and then moving it in closer and back and forth, it would have an eerie sound. So you have to have something that gives you something like, the heck is that? But it can't be something that's, you know, Star Destroyer. Really, it's in a vacuum. No, you wouldn't hear it, but it would be interesting. And when you see it going below, you hear it going below. Ooh, ooh. So that's where Atmos is just like, it's got nowhere to go. But if you could do stereo, all around. Crikey. I think people will be mixing movies like, for many months, because it would be so complex. It wouldn't be like pumping it out like Pepsi Cola, mass produced. Oh, we got to get it out there. Brand it. Moo! Dolby Atmos. Moo! You brand it. Just to pump it out there, for God's sakes. Nature can't be fooled. You can't fool nature. Just can't fool it. See, I do that. I hear sounds where, and I memorize. And dialogue, it should be everywhere and all equally balanced. Every bloody movie sometimes I listen to, I think, crying out loud, why does it sound, even in Apollo 13 Mission Control, it doesn't sound pretty much like there's a lot of people individually all talking and all at the same, you hear a difference in the center and the left and the right, and it sounds like they're across the road. It doesn't sound like they're in the room. It sounds like they're outside of the room. It's got, oh, please. That's not how we hear. So, if it's going to make it hard to understand, then that's how it should be. Until the flight director says, calm down, everyone, calm down. You can, if you listen carefully to those, to the surrounds on the Apollo 13, you can hear the actual I think they're using transcripts from the mission, because you could hear the loop, the tape loops or something, unless that was some sort of made up. But it sounds like the actual. You can hear it in the surrounds, and you can hear the what's that other thing you can hear? The air conditioning system. It's got a very sort of air conditioning sort of sound, and those things would be overhead, and how well where they're located. That's like, say, you got to have speak. Atmos is just pants. You got to have speakers literally plastered all over the ceiling. You can't just have, because you see where the air vents are located, and that's where you got to duplicate a map. I mean, Gravity was pretty close. If it only had a serious Atmos, it would be a lot better. But it was way better than any other bloody movie I've listened to in the past 40 years. Ugh. Bring on the dialogue, directionality, move it around, please. Oh, it's almost entertaining, like reading one of those story tape books, and you got a little 3D book, and you open it up, and the thing pops up, and it's you can look at it and move around it, and whilst listening to the cassette. I had those tapes, Cinderella, and flip the little books, and then think, wow, look at that, brilliant. You get to Atmos, it's like plastic. Oh. So fantastic. It must be Barbie. I'm realistic. Oh. Where was that Coca-Cola mass produced? Where was that? Oh. Where was that? Oh, so Apollo versus Apollo. We got a problem. We got a problem. Which one to choose? We got a problem. This one. No, actually this one. It's got no edge enhancement. Thank goodness. Leave out the edge enhancement. It ruins a movie. Oh. I got a problem. Bloody hell. Oh. God, careful, don't break that bloody camera. It's still brand new. Let's see what this clear and present. Oh no, it's not clear and present. It's Patriot games. That's it. See what side 3's like. Oh, no, side 2. It's one disc. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, anti-terrorism.
Winter.
Well,
Rose.
I have to say you're looking better than I expected.
It's an illusion, I'm afraid.
Of course, it would have to be, wouldn't it? Well, it's good to see you again, regardless. Look, we've carved a niche for you, and here's your night table reading.
Wow, that helicopter flight by. Oh, it's a bit toppy. I could put a filter on that. Put a filter on that. Give that another playback. Still got a bit of bloody top on that. I think it might be a case of dropping the what's it? Turn that all away. That one there. Okay, see if that relaxes it. If it engages. Just turn on the audio limiters on the HF horns and that relaxes that. You know, why you go into a cinema and you think, bloody hell, you got to put earplugs in, for crying out loud. The bloody horns are splitting your ears, literally. You know? So, you know, it's still got the fidelity, but I was thinking, well, I put a filter on, a PEQ, between 2-3 kilohertz and brought it down, and bloody hell, it's still bloody splitting my ears. Okay, last result, audio limiter. Always solves the problem. Like GoldenEye, bloody hell, that's a shrike. You need audio limiters on the bloody HFs just to calm it down. It's like putting a collar around a choke collar around a dog and give it a needs a bloody. Ugh. Otherwise, you just turn it down. And when all the quiet scenes play with all the other dynamics, there they play okay. All the louder dynamics will be relaxed.
Let's go! Come on!
It'd take a dB reading. Take an A weighting. It's under 80 dB. Turn the audio limiters off. That top end should go up. And I'll put my earplugs in because I don't like it. Because our hearing is sensitive to that range. And if you don't protect, you can get high frequency hearing loss. Turn the limiters off. If I had the filter off a little bit on the, turn that off a little bit. It's almost up to 85 dBA. Okay. Put those harnesses back on. That's better.
Excuse me.
Oh, lads, did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. I had my earplugs in. I still hear the high frequency there, where his watch makes a typical, yeah, I think that's from a sound effect library. Bleep, 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 bleep. Mind you, that's a bloody loud bleep on his digital watch. Totally exaggerate, because probably that bleep sound on the watch would probably, with all that all that noise, gunfire going on in the background, you wouldn't hear it. It'd be impossible. I like film soundtracks where things get manipulated and fabricated, and it's like, wow, that sounds clear, because you wouldn't hear it in real life. If I had a watch like that, I wouldn't hear that, because that bleep sound would be. Is it the actual frequency SPL level? So I did a test years ago with a Nokia 33 telephone, something 3310 or something. They use them in the X Files. And Fox Mulder gets his phone ringing, on the X Files, Fight the Future, and he's got a big bomb that he's staring at a vending machine. And I put the phone at different output levels, because you've got low, medium, and high. And I put that up where the loudspeaker was and balanced the levels, and just to see what, but the only difference was the pitch of the sound, because it was a region 2 DVD, so the sound was a little bit speeded up on the region 2, so similar frequency but shifted slightly, but had a similar loudness, similar SPL loudness. But a digital watch, no. I can hear all the other bloody machine gun firing going off. And then the digital watch in the center, beep, beep, beep. No way. Though I could make it a little bit harder to hear that if I wanted to. Just locate the frequency in the mix and then just put a PEQ on it and bring it down. So when it sounds in the movie, it would sound very faint. But then it's going to wreck everything else.
Let's go!
So it sounds like that digital watch has got a bloody loudspeaker on it. A big tweeter. They only got a little tiny piezo in those bloody things. Little ceramic piezos, and they got very, very little output level, SPL. Not to mention the voltage, and the battery would drain. You know, if you had that thing going on and on and on, the battery voltage would drop. I'm getting too technical. Where's that scene with the underground train? Might have been on side one. Might have been on side one. Oh no, it's on side two. Here it is. Oh yeah, because you've got this underground, the tube train. Hear what that sounds like. Ooh. Hey, what the bloody hell's all this? Oh, Coca-Cola. Well, this movie brought to you by Coca-Cola. Oh, it's like a flashback to London. I think if the music mix was brought down a little bit on that James Horner with that going on, for crying out loud, it sticks out against everything else. Otherwise, it's got a nice kind of almost acoustical sound of the subway underground. The only thing missing there is the motion vibration on those subway tubes. Needs a bit more low end. I think maybe best one so far or similar, maybe Skyfall. I think there's another movie. I think it's, what is it? Ronin. I think it's Ronin. Though I don't live in London, though I have been on those tubes quite plenty of times. Can't forget how they acoustically sound on the interior, and then the motion. So you always kind of feel this kind of like an elasticy. It would be like if it were in low frequency or so, it would have a kind of an elasticy, like holding an elastic, and it would have this, well, kind of like in the rocket chair, it would have this kind of, because every now and then you feel the cars kind of doing this shuddering sort of thing, and you kind of feel this motion on the tubes. I've got good memory for not just how it sounds, but how it feels. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, and it's not much present here on this film mix. They've got too much bloody loudness in the bloody music. Bloody music up here, and the bloody oh, they could have brought it down a little bit. Could have brought it down just a bit. And you got everyone probably on a dub stage thinking, what does a tube, has anyone been on a tube recently? Yeah. And the tubes probably sound acoustically different now, because they got new tube trains now, so they've got probably a different acoustical signature to what the older ones had. I like it how that guy there just sits there and he's analysing frustratedly. He's frustrating. He's analysing. Oh yeah, I think there's some dialogue pan here, if I can remember. I think there's some dialogue panning.
We shot this 8 days ago in Berlin. 1, 2, 3, 4 Brits traveling with him. Light arms.
Why not?
We shot this 8 days ago in Berlin. 1, 2, 3, 4 Brits traveling with him. Light arms.
Heavy stuff's in the cars.
He's German. He's German.
It's boarding him, Sean.
4, 6 altogether.
Just your typical LCR, or if I had the 5 screen on, dialogue panning.
We've got to find the moment when he's unprotected.
4 days Washington. 1 day New York. Shopping.
Yeah. 2 Caucasians.
Definitely need a lot more speakers. Because atmospheric windy sounds, I just noticed that it's good, but just not enough. You know, it's got to like sound uniform, like above, below, in between, below me, like wind outside. But wind is complexly moving and twisting and moving around. That's why you need all this stereo, and then shifting and then having and then thinking, acoustically, but then you need the feel of it. Gentle, even a gentle breeze, you could feel it moving on your clothing. You can, well, naked, if you're naked, you can feel it. But speakers, they're not just putting enough bass out there, are they? Not without having it turn up ridiculous in a mix, and then soft, windy sounds like, bloody hell, it sounds unnatural. Doesn't look right on the SPL meter. So, you know. See, this is where people are so bored with reality. They want to escape into a fantasy. Or endgame users want to escape acoustically, but then still, there's something missing. Something missing. It's like one movie I just can't stand. Perfect Storm. It's just too damn just unrealistically mixed. It just sounds bloody deafening. It doesn't sound like a storm. I mean, it's entertaining, but it just doesn't sound like a storm. You've got to have all the complexities of the timbre matching, moving around, so not have wind and rain. Totally different on the surround to what it is on the front. The timbre matching is rain. If it rains, it'll be the same frequency all around. If it is out in the outdoor, wide open. If it's near objects and things, then you would hear all individual difference of standing under a bus shelter, and you hear the toppy, and you hear all the on the ground surface. And then you walk away from the bus shelter and it changes, and then you stand away from the bus shelter, and then it sounds like an object. Then the bus shelter is just an object where the rain is, and then you move more further away until you're so far away from it on a heavy downpour of rain until you can't hear the bus shelter because the rest of it is masking effect. That you just hear all the rain on the ground surface. You don't hear it overhead. You think you hear it overhead, but it's not overhead. Rain is silent. Doesn't make a sound until it lands on an object. Pitter patter, pitter patter. Raindrops keep falling on my head. And you got all these, you got the roofs, you got trees, and that's why it makes a sound that's up there, sort of thing. And you think it's overhead, but it's not. You stand under a bus shelter, you can tell, bloody hell. Oh, for God's sakes! Have they got the bloody gamma turned up on this bloody movie? Anyway, where's that other scene in the movie? It sounds pretty good. Oh, let's back up. Back it up. It sounds like it's overhead. Oh yeah, that sound there.
Royal we want. We can't ransom a dead body. Brother, place to be in. How are we going to get away, huh? Gotta go for with the other knee. Come on. Folks, follow the cliff. Several ropes.
Oh, that was a good. That's a bit similar to like the Fugitive. What year did this come out? This was 92. The Fugitive came out 93, 94. Yeah, got a similar, almost similar all to, I think, Gremlins, where they do that mix. It's though if I turn on the experimental overheads, then it'll sound like it's but with all the speed, it's got with the footsteps and doing the frequency manipulation, and yeah, it sounds like the footsteps running around. Only there's something missing. There's something missing there.
How are you going to get away, huh?
I could turn the experimental one and the other ones, and we'll do some other thing. But the surrounds, I believe, are mono, or they should be. It's probably the time delay on that right half surround array that's giving it a spatial.
Come on. Come on. Folks, follow the cliff. Several ropes.
Where's the other scene? Where's the other scene? Have I gone past it, or no? I think no, because the music score kicked in, didn't it? Oh yes, back up a little bit. I think it's about there. That's a good effect. Although the sound of the thunder on the interior of the house. Wow. Wow.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah, that torch sound, like, lands on the floor and then makes a rolling sound, or appears to make a rolling as it lands, and then it will probably roll on the floor until it settles on a wooden floor. I'll turn that projector off. I'm not really using it. Wow, that's brilliant. Laser projectors, they turn on not too fast, too quick, but they turn off very quick. Unlike other, they don't need to be cooled down for about 2 minutes until they switch off. Oh, let's try something else. to something else. Bloody shocking, that aspect ratio. Not too bad there on that torch. Yeah, it just gets. I was just not really into it. It gets very toppy, you know. On this last cue, you got all the score, the music score, and you got the ocean sound waves. I know what a boat feels like. I've been on a boat, and I know what, when going over waves, I know what that feels like. You just don't get it in the mix. It's just there should be things there that should be put in, but there's just not enough channels. There's just not enough channels. And like I say, like the buffaloes and all the, if you had it all, so you can, you know, and then you got ocean waves moving. Look at that boat rocking around. Wow. Look at that boat rocking around. I don't think I want to be swimming around in the ocean trying to climb onto a boat like that. Oh, no thanks. That's where the stuntman comes in. Because if that got you in the wrong place, that would be a heavy punch. That would knock you. Get the stuntman in to do that. But yeah. Yeah, it's got flipping Mace Windu in it with his lightsaber. Save the Force. What are they doing here on the bloody mix? Bloody centre's way down, too low. Of course, in Matrix Dolby Stereo, that center will be way up because it'll probably change a little bit there now. They've probably got the vocals on the left and right. Just play that again. Yeah, they got the vocals in the surround and on the left and right. Just wait for the center channel to kick in. It'll probably have a bit of percussion or timpani or something. Oh no, sounds like a bit of a kettle drum and a bit of a bass hit on the center. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. It's just going to do that until the arrangement on the instruments change. Or the stylistic. If I want the vocals in the center, that's not a problem. I just need to wire it up and then divert the vocals, the phantom mono vocal from left to right, and divert it over into the center. Blend it on top of the center signal. Crown amplifier You suck. Yeah. Boom. I think it's just going to do that right up to the last. Just get up right to the last bit of the mix balance on clear and present danger is a little bit more even over the LCR, over the screen channel. But there's still something going on there. That's, I can see the level meter. I can't hear it. Could be just analog and magnetic noise. Yeah, it's just going to do this drum boom in the center. It's a little bit reverberant on the left and right. Just play it again. Put the center back on there. It's not too over loud. It's not too over loud. I just can't stand movie mixes on end credits where you just got left and right blaring. So, and you got this pitiful bloody mix on the bloody center, and it's way down here. You got the left and right way up here, and it's like, how the bloody hell are you supposed to hear that? For crying out! What was the point in mixing it in the first place? And when you think of it, it sounds like a very mono instrument rather than, like I say, everything needs to be like stereo, because you got the sticks on those drums. If you up close, someone playing it, or if I had a drumstick and I was up close, I would hear the individuality in those drumsticks going down onto the drum skin. I would hear an individuality. It would have I would think it would have several sound of it'd have yeah, microphoning it. As you get close to it, but when you're a bit further away from it, it sounds like a mono instrument. When you're up close, oh, different ball game. Stereo. How many channels would that be? How many speakers? How long is a piece of string? What size screen speaker put behind the screen? Coaxial, a coaxial design. So the bass and then the mid-range and the HF. And then the complexities of sitting seat to seat and listening. And standing up as well. Moving around and for good. You know, when all these audiophiles, they got this bloody $1 million of bloody, whatever you call it, bloody 2-channel stereo. They might as well just hire some musicians to come round their home and play real instruments. It'd be a lot cheaper. And then you can compare that to the recording, and you think, I actually prefer the real thing. Although the real thing would never be, ever, ever duplicated twice. It's impossible. It'll always be slightly different, but it will be better, but it will never duplicate the same time and time and time again. It's impossible. Lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice. Oh, well, let's just make it strike in the same place twice, will we? Well, we manufacture it. Oh, yes. Manufacture it, that's right. Manufacture the lightning to strike twice in the same place. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Don't get this in a bloody cinema, do you? talk to the hand. That's it, focus. Yeah, they don't sell coleslaw in cinema, do they? What the bloody hell's the world coming to? Always take your own snacks to a cinema. Oh. Wow. Chips and coleslaw. Maybe some cottage cheese. I might as well put the projector back on. Oh, I forgot this is 16:9. Where is it? Oh yeah, 16:9. No, I've got to change the aspect on the projector. Oh. Wow. They should have made more laser discs like this.
Jesse, come on up.
Walker! Small world, ain't it? Don't even think about it. The life's on sale, Walker. Price is $30 million. Where is it? It's gone. What the fuck are you talking about? Where's the money?
I burned it. Never could save anything.
Not even a dumb mountain boy like you could burn $30 million.
Uh,
I don't make deals, Walker, but I'm leaving with you. Hand over the money, and I'll just kill you, and not the girl. Now give me the money.
he burnt it.
hell are we wasting time? Making sure he's not going to find that lost case.
Ooh.
You want to kill me, don't you, Tucker? Take a number and get in line.
Wow.
All right, they're looking too far. Take this rope and pull it apart and tie it together.
Wow.
We're going to rappel down.
This rope is 60 years old. Will it hold?
Don't think so.
Bad answer.
Here comes our ride. Move. Okay, now swing as hard as you can. Push.
Wow. 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 Wicked. Oh. Wow. Whoa. See the problem now I can see. No, it's wow. That's great. That's wild in AC-3. But when all those rocks are falling, like need a lot of individuality. Though really, a lot of those rocks wouldn't be when they're falling. A rock wouldn't make a sound because it's just an object falling through air. It'll only make a sound once a piece of it lands on an object, or all the smaller pieces are landing against the surfaces of the cliff face. You can't fool nature. If you had masses of rock that are falling, You'd have to experiment with a large piece, drop it. Tests have to be done multiple times. And so someone says, yeah, I can sense air pressure being pushed or something, because I think that's effectively all you'll be hearing most of the time is this kind of air pressure at a certain frequency because of the, depending on the size and the mass, and it's falling until it lands, makes a sound. So when they do movies like this, automatically everyone's thinking, oh yeah, that's how it sounds. But only maybe the smaller pieces or certain sizes of rock that I thought coming down, probably hitting the side of the cliff face, yeah, it's going to make a sound, a tapping sound or a bonk. A rock literally coming down in front of you, free falling. I think you would only sense some sort of startlement and some sort of air pressure movement. Need something in this mix to create a sense of bottom, like, whoa. Because see, where everything is cut, edited, and then what is off screen or on screen, or not just present, but you should sense like all these rocks coming down, all these debris. Entertaining movie. Yeah. Just need something to create a particularly the opening. Go have some sort of sense of, like create something psychoacoustically that will suddenly make audiences, or though some that are listeners, kind of like, whoa, lift their feet up, like thinking, bloody hell, you're just being tricked by the mixers with a system that puts Atmos in the dust, and you feel like there's no ground below you. Got to create I've heard one movie once before, it had a pretty neat, and that was just Dolby Stereo. I can't remember what movie it was now. It's way back in the 90s, probably on VHS. And it had a neat psychoacoustic effect in it, and it kind of freaked me. It's too bad this has got a little edge enhancement on it, for crying out loud. I mean, whoever thought of using edge enhancement needs to be fired. I wonder if I don't think there is another pressing a cliffhanger that's AC-3 that's 16:9 that hasn't got any edge enhancement on it, apart from the Blu-ray, which looks terrible, and the Atmos on it sounds absolutely awful. Because it's very gimmicky. It sounds like it was mixed in about a day in some kiddie's basement. because it's got no true discrete overhead. It's just a cheap upmix, just to sell an old movie. But you say, you're wrong, Dolby. Not Ray Dolby. I just say your spec layout and all this Dolby Labs is completely wrong. Stuff the director's intent. I'm going to put speakers so they go all along the floor, side, back, overhead, above. And even if you use the discrete mono surround, discrete, whether it be the mono matrix, mono discrete, or stereo surround, it would, oh wow, you'd be thinking, why couldn't we had it like this years ago? Because you're typically way back in an auditorium. The closer you get, walk up to those speakers, and then they sound like a speaker. Oh, there's a speaker there. It's a hot spot. I can hear it there. Oh, there's another hot spot and another hot spot with atmospheric sound. And yet, you listen to real atmospheric sound outdoors, step outdoors and you listen, it's like there are no hot spots. It's completely fucking uniform. You think, it's just not enough here, you know, to do all this. It's just not enough. You step away from it, and then the screen channels sound like all this atmosphere. It sounds kind of, the impression is uniform, but it isn't. Listen to the surrounds because they're around you to the side and the back. It sounds kind of uniform, but it's just something's still missing because there just ain't enough. You move around and walk and you think, oh, hot spot, hot spot, hot spot. And it doesn't sound like, you know. Otherwise, rain individually, rule, little, tiny, individual, and that's what it makes the sound. You can easily do it under controlled conditions, under artificial conditions, have certain sprinkler thing, have certain raindrop coming out onto a surface that you audibly you would hear, and then you say, oh yeah, it's just like one raindrop there, one, but then you add a little bit more through the system, and then it starts changing. Of course, rain in the real world doesn't happen like that. Or sometimes you're walking around, you might suddenly feel a raindrop, boom, lands on your ear. Just happened to boom on the side of your ear. And then you hear the next one on your shoulder, on your coat. And then you think, oh, it's going to rain. And then more of it comes down because, yeah. Snow? No, you don't hear it again. Comes from the rain cloud, and as it's descending, it freezes. And even if it comes down hard, you never hear it. You never hear it landing on the ground, unless depending on what surface the snow is landing on, what surface, yes, it's possible you hear the weight of it landing on, say, a piece of paper. But you've got to have crackerjack hearing to notice it. But if it was a raindrop, it would clearly stick out on a piece of paper. Yeah, I think everything from recording dialogue is all neat. It's all neat today. It's clear. It's understood. It's not distorting like what in those older movies where it had its snags of. So just think of multitudes of speakers plastered, because if you're looking at a screen, and George Lucas, he's totally wrong. Film is not 50% sound and not 50% picture. It isn't. I would say the picture is probably more like 1%, because it's just an image that is only front and focal. And that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed since the day of the single picture lantern, where there were just candles projecting an image. Wowed everyone back then. I wouldn't know because I wasn't back then, but it would have wowed. Like, oh, look at that! Look at the size of it. And everyone all knows or what the story about the stunt or the train when coming into and freaking people out and running out the auditorium thinking a real train is actually coming in. Powerful. That's an image that's pretty powerful, I would say. Probably better than 3D. Yeah. If that can freak certain people out, then they nailed it. Not with 3D, but they nailed it with a black and white movie with a train coming into a train station. Need more speakers, all parallel. Ceiling, floor, and they're all in the same parallel. And then you could probably do phantom mixing, maybe in the vertical, and get an image to sound like it's this height, just by balancing and through all the individual speakers, depending on what scene it is or what it is, whatever. The Atmos is 13 years, and they haven't even bothered to improve it. I mean, the thing they're going to do with this bloody LED rubbish, LED screen, and put speakers so it reflects. Oh, please. Waste of bloody time. That would be a waste of money and a waste of effort and time putting that together. It would only get certain frequencies. It won't be able to do it entirely. because you'd be, crikey, I could put my hand there, listen to pink noise, and I can hear high frequency reflecting off my hand. And that's all it's going to do. Just like the bouncy Atmos bullshit speakers. You need to put a microphone in a position, your bare wall. Oh yeah, you got bare wall. I can't do it in this room now because it's all absorbed. Bare wall. Then you take multitudes of measurements to see how much actual frequency is reflecting, because it will bounce and move around on reflective surfaces. If it's absorbed, no, it's not. It'll get absorbed. And the only sound you should hear is what's on the bloody film mixer or music, the echo effect, the reverberation, which is creating a illusion. But you shouldn't hear bloody echo. You know, if people are running around in Cliffhanger in the snow, it's dense. It doesn't have much, you know, depending on mountains that where two parallel surfaces, you get a echo reflection. I did a test over a year ago when I went out with my cat, Bear. There was the harbour, Poole Harbour, on my left side, the bay area. On my right side were all these houses. Clap my hand, ping, I hear an echo reflecting off the buildings. But I don't hear it on that side because it's only, and then ping. Depending on how big the clap is, how much amplitude or what force I can give it. And then if I had a sophisticated RTA about maybe a mile away, where some of the buildings are that I can see with a, you know, and then I'll be able to see a tiny little, that's all I would see. Depending on how still the nighttime is, the traffic, I might just faintly, but it would be so back of the box, it would be incredibly back of the, like the signal noise ratio, it'd be like way down here, very quiet. But if I took absorbent material, put it all over those buildings, tap my hand again, it wouldn't reflect any echo. You don't want to hear all this bloody echo in a room, for crying out loud. Makes dialogue sound absolutely atrociously terrible. Probably on a dubbing stage, to a cinema, to a home that hasn't got a, you know, because you listen to the same film mix on headphones, you don't hear that honky, whatever the bloody hell's going on in that room. You don't hear that honky sound. You do hear weird things on film mixes sometimes where it's got some bizarre echo. And you think, why's it got a bizarre echo? It's weird. It's interesting, but Yeah, and I'm always curious about gun sound effects underwater. Of course, I've seen some of those YouTube videos. That's interesting. A bullet just decelerates. That's incredible. Yeah, water effect. Water effect. So what would be nominated? The Abyss? Maybe Waterworld. I only uses a little bit underwater. But if we hear actual, put a little bit of water in our ear, everything goes muffled. When you hear it sometimes in films, it's like, why the bloody hell's that got some high frequency or something there? I don't know. I'm just trying to wrap my, I'm just trying to understand it. Oh, underwater. Think about underwater. U-571. I mean, all those depth charges that are killing fish, marine life bastards. U-571 doesn't need to be Dolby Atmos. It doesn't need to be mixed Atmos because there just ain't enough channels for it. Could be complete fail of mix and waste of time, resource and money, electric bill, just doing a bloody BS mix that's not done from scratch with a totally revamped. Trade off some of these speakers in the Atmos and use it for below surround and make a multi-array. Otherwise, you've got a submarine that's going around, and then you got a depth charge falling, and it falls below the screen, and then it goes off. So effectively, it would be like a below surround. But if you're actually there, you're going to have a much wider view, way bigger than the IMAX, way bigger, and you'd see it blurred with your vision, because your vision will blur with, unless you got the goggles, and you'd see it, and you'd be pretty stupid because you'll be within range, and you'll be fish bait when it goes off. If it were a little sound to do some, what does it sound like? Not how it's picked up on recording, but how actually listening. What does it actually? And then you say it sounded something like this by manipulating the mixer, the EQ, and all that bullshit. It sounded something like that. Not to mention, I think sound travels a bit faster, or so, depending on the temperature of water. I don't really care for U-571 and the depth charges. Don't really care for it. That is a movie that definitely needs the bloody audio limiters turned on. It just gets unbearable, like bloody hell, But anyway, just thinking. Of course, my ranting is not going to make a scrap of difference, and there's not going to be any change. There's only so many people that can hear this and think, crying out loud, why aren't they doing anything? Why haven't they, We're only getting older. Otherwise, you might as well go to some theme park and watch a cliffhanger reenactment. Like this scene in the movie. Watch a sort of reenactment. And you think, wow, that was better than the movie itself. Some of the mixing on it's not too bad. Could be improved if it had more on those mixing consoles to do way more. Way more speakers. something that will freak you out, or the listener will freak out the listener, or it might get the attention of those that only hear the sound in an auditorium. There's two types: those that hear it and those that are listening for it. Or it could be broken down to those that just hear it and think, oh, it's just a bit, but I rather like my sport car, and here I've got my luxury watch. Yeah, here you go. And that's what they're into. Not everyone's the same. Everyone's more or less kind of the same on a not even projectionists. Even projectionists are completely different. Some are more into the actual projector itself. Some are more into the electricity that powers the xenon lamp. They're all different. They're all different. Yeah. I can't be fooled. Atmos can't fool me. And another thing is, you want the speakers all hidden. I could put more speakers in between. Lower, take the, well, not have, keep that where that is. This is where is it there? That one of these overheads, or well, it says it's an overhead. Just move it just a little bit forward, and then put another one in between here, but with another matrix decoder. So if there's any decent stereo zone mixing going on in any decent stereo mixing in the overhead, then the sound would go from one speaker to the next, depending on the panning and whatever's going on in the effects, and whatever that decoder can see and steer the signaling, and then it would just appear to move rather than just be a hot spot there or a hot spot there. I don't want hot spots. That's not how I hear the bloody sound. Even pink noise, you think, when pink noise all plays on all the speakers all at the same time, that's very disorientating in this room, including the below surround. I've got sound coming from the below surround, the side, the over, and it sounds bloody disorientating, even at a low volume. But interesting. You can see the high frequencies very, very, very well because it's multiplying, and then you can see all the high frequencies, and you can play a sine wave tone, and then you can like, oh, I can still hear above 10,000 kilohertz. I can hear 12,000, 14,000. Oh, it's getting a little bit faint, maybe at about 16,000 kilohertz. Just a little faint. If I had a test subject, say a child of maybe well, you got to seduce kids. You got to seduce them with sweeties and shit, because they'll be like animals. You never get them to cooperate. But you just say, all right, I'm going to play something, and it's going to, I just want you to raise your hand when you can hear it. No, make no sound, just raise your hand. That's what they do when you go to the doctors, and they test your hearing from about 100 to about 8 kilohertz, and they just want you to raise your hand this side and then that side. That's all they want, And then they plot the graph Anyway, so yeah, kid. It's got to be maybe 14 years old. Could be 10 years old. You know, the younger the better, because the hearing range spectrum wouldn't be rolled off as much when you get to about 16 or 17, maybe 18 or so. Your hearing range rolls off. So the sine wave is fundamental at 16,000 kilohertz up there, and you can hear it there. And if you get a bit older, that tone is, even though it's amplitude up there, but you can only perceive it way down here, but it sounds very faint unless you amplify it, and then you can perceive it and think, but it's bending the needle on the SPL meter. And I don't think dogs and cats are going to like it. They will find it extremely irritating. Because their hearing spectrum is a lot better than ours. Mm. Mm. A lot of chapters on this cliffhanger. I think there are more chapters on this Laserdisc than there is the Blu-ray. Or is it the 4K? I can't remember which. It's got over 40 chapters. You know, it's like reading a book. Chapter 7. Gabe negotiates with the money. I burnt it! Gosh. I just can't. Why can't they make an anti-bloody edge enhancement filter that just eliminates the edge enhancement? Kind of reverses reverses it or something, so it's not visible. God.
Now,
Whoa.
Get back! Get back! Go! Jesse, run!
Wow. Wow.
This son of a bitch.
Wow.
All right. We use a chopper to locate the third case. Then we get the hell out of here.
No, there's not enough fuel to set.
Jesse, run!
Oof. That sounded good. Sounded like there were more speakers than there were in the room because of the mixing, and then when it goes a little bit more low frequency, because you play a sine wave tone, and sometimes it sounds like the tone is maybe up there, or maybe it's a little low. You play sine wave tones on each speaker individually, and they all sound different. They sound like they're moving up and down, or forwards, backwards, or side to side. So pretty useless to EQ unless you design a room specifically to control it, so it stays where it should, more or less, and then you want to add something else to do a little bit more. Yeah, you've got to have design a room very specific, very scientific, and I don't have the resource or the time to do that. I've got a small room, no big enough to swing a cat around. No offense, Bear. Meow. Make the sound. So that's got some echo in it. So we're up in the hills. The hills are alive with the sound of gunshots.
Now I'm the only one who can fly us out of here. We're partners again. Now take your toy and find our money. Radio when you find it. I'm waiting here. I'm waiting here.
That breeze of windy sound there, that sounded, let me have an analyze on that.
Radio when you find it. I'm waiting here. All right, the last of the money's on Crockett River.
If we take the northern ridge, we can get there first.
Look.
Okay, mute the screen channel. Yeah, a bit of a hotspot area I can localize on that scene, but it needs to be more all uniform, right down to the floor. God, that edge enhancement is burning my eyes. God, see no evil. Why is that helicopter sounding a little bit more that side, man? What the blazers? Something like this scene should have a bottomless to it. And maybe in the mix, do some phantom, or maybe some, depending on, because I could see some birds flying around. So maybe have some birds that are, sound like they're moving below you. Something like that. Little details. Like, it's got to be stereo. So the individuality, it moves, and it's got some, and it's like, oh, seems like a bird flying around below. So listen to that bleep. So you've got this bleeping sound on the tracking device for the money. It's only in the center channel because it's pitching beep 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 beep. So it's not just one frequency just going up and down. It's multiple frequencies. If you look at it on a what's it, RTA. Mm-hmm. You got the rabbit. How deep does the cliffhanger rabbit hole go? Yeah, because the rabbit is left and left half mixed. So if I use the 5 screen, it would be more or less the rabbit would be on the left center channel. And you got the atmospheric sound, the wind and such.
Close.
But the mix on the cliffhanger, the atmospheric, the wind and all that such, it's not exactly filtered correctly. It's a little bit, it sounds like it's sticking out like a sore thumb on the center, and it's totally different or fainter on the left and right. It should be equally balanced because that's how it is in nature. And it should go, that should all translate all through to the surrounds. Should be all, but it's moving, but it should have small tolerances of dB moving around, but it's moving, not just like, yeah, sound just being next up on faders. Damn, crying out loud. And it's like, where to put music? Where do you put music? Where do you put it? Multiple, stereo, absolute multiple. That would be interesting if it was mixed like that. So you got the orchestra, because you go to a concert, we go to a hall, and the concert's in front of you. And depending on where you're sat or located, said quietly. Oh, feel that echo. Oh, that was deep on the reverb. Said quietly. Boom.
Said quietly.
Like the sound on those bleeps. That's high frequency.
Said quietly.
They have the sound of orchestra, so like I say, if it's got all this multi, boom, 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 you could kind of shift the sound of the orchestra or certain instruments for effects or harmony, and kind of shift it forward, like it's phantom imaging, and then moving it, panning it, like it. I see it doable. I see this very doable, so it can move and flow. So it's not just going along the typical sidewall speakers. There could be different instruments there, different acoustic, and something moving in between, because you've got parallel speakers that are not all going to be totally parallel because of the design of the floor, the seating, real cinema seating. Or I don't really like these cinema seats they put in Odeons or whatever, or Cine or whatever they do now. Crying out, those are not cinema seats. These are cinema seats. But if you want to be relaxed, then stay at home, and then the cinema will gradually fade out. I mean, you look at dubbing stages. Most dubbing stages, they got real cinema seats. Some of them got those rubbish home theatre seats. Like, oh, for God's sakes. There are a few advantages that you can do with real cinema seats, because you got the flip up seat. You can put a speaker underneath, as well as a speaker kind of in front of you, but it'd have to be a specially designed floor. Not to mention, it would be a pain in the arse to keep it clean. And do you ban drinking because if any liquid would have fallen, it's just going to go into that speaker, period. Unless you use the weatherproof speakers. And again, you can turn a seat into a speaker. So yeah, do quite a few things. But once an audience, or those that find out, oh, that's how it's done, everyone's going to be doing it and having it up and running more or less in the home before they got the actual thing released for the home. Because first it gets put into a cinema. That's if cinemas stick around, because they look like they're dropping like flies now, seriously. I think they are really on the verge of, they won't last 10 more years and they'll be kaput. I thought they would have been kaput a little bit longer back, a bit further back, but no. It's kind of getting there. And the image, well, I don't know. Maybe it should be like the Omnimax, a dome shape, or maybe a spherical sphere. So, but it wouldn't look right. It would look distorted. The image would look distorted. Just as worse as those Cineworld 4DX or whatever they call it. Projects. It looks like a cheap 1970s disco vision video box, splitting the image into 3 images, one projected on the side walls and one in the front, like some poor man's Cinerama, only incredibly distorted. Because, oh dear, you can imagine, get a cardboard box and then you cut it, a slot or slit in it, so it's just kind of like that. You put it on your head, you go walking around outside, you would find it incredibly awkward. It would be so, oh. And when you take it off, you think, oh, flipping it, that's better. So it'd be so distorted, the image and the field of view. But yeah, if it was everywhere, yeah. But maybe keep it 1 dimension in front, or 2 dimension, but 1 image in front. And you just, everything else is a surprise or what if, you know, because I think, oh, I didn't expect that. I suppose when you could see a character moving around when another character is under the water. So, you know, a close-up view in reality there, you'd still see a lot of image below the scope frame, not like Limax. The real reality, you know, I mean, you know, our what do you call it again? Our vision. What's the word for it again? Oh, P, something with a P. No, not perspective. Is it perspective? No, peripheral vision. It's just a made-up word, I think. I focus and look straight ahead at something, and yet I can still see my hand moving below me here, because I know I'm moving my hand, but I can still see it. I can't see it much now. You can see it about this angle, so it's pretty wide. If I were a fish, then I would see a better vision. So I'd have fish vision. Yeah, maybe that's what they should sell in the cinema. Put on the fish vision goggles. Can't really sense much up and down movement there, even though I move my finger. It's probably because the way it's resonating or oscillating in the bottle. That's very difficult to, you know. But I can sense a movement, but not a real up and down. Tapping it, that's different. but that's a little bit difficult until my finger gets here, then it makes a bumping sound because it's smoother here. Yeah, I do all weird things. All weird things. You don't see this on the Youth Man channel, of course. Just a load of BS to sell hot equipment that costs extreme money, really. And yet, here it is, all the real world. Just like Foley. Foley is very boring sound. Bloody hell, most of all that sounds like plastic bloody mono. It's got no, well, like I say, you need stereo, mic it, literally. So you get this sound. And you think, well, that's good, and you know, and then what else you can do with it, whatever. And someone was telling me about footsteps and how you could put a signal delay on one track or something, and you get a sound of the impression of 2 footstep movement by putting a delay. That's got me thinking. That's got me thinking. So two speakers for the center channel, and then one of them, or purposely delayed, and then just listen to some Foley footstep scene or something and see what it sounds like, and then switch the delay off and then see what it sounds like, and then switch it back on. That'd be interesting. Oh, that would be interesting. Oh. Sound of the ladder. Sound of the ladder as it falls. The helicopter's going below surround there. Oof, below surround a little bit there, and then you got the ladder there. Some of it's going a little bit further down, so it'd be making some sort of jingling sound. Boom. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, yeah. See, that's a cliffhanger. That's a cliffhanger. It's like the Saturday serials at the cinema. You could have just took your chance and jumped out the helicopter, just at the last few feet. You know, might have had a few injuries, but you know, he wouldn't get barbecued. Some of the wind effect there is all right. Just thinking, dipolar speakers. Okay, so you got a dipolar speaker, or was it the tripolar, or the? So you got something that is moving certain directional frequencies that way, that way, that way, and that way. And do that multi. Multi stereos. Mono, single speaker, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put time delays on and see if that will create, though it's a hotspot, and put a time delay on one of the drivers. So the drivers would be, oh gosh, powered individually, because you've got to EQ the individual drivers to how they are reacting within the room. Oh yeah, so so if you've got a speaker that doesn't fire forward but what if it does fire forward? But you've got one driver going up, one driver going that way, one down, one that way, and then one coming out. So that's 5 speakers. Yeah. They could be coaxial. You could put a time delay on one of them to make that speaker appear to have some sort of stereophonic, even though it's a single speaker. Yeah, you could do that. Let's see. I always thought of doing these with just a 2-way crossover, because crikey, you get to 3-way, it gets for crying out, it just gets more expensive. And yet real sound doesn't cost a penny, doesn't cost a single penny, and yet all this fabricated stuff, it's ludicrous. It's got a stupid price tag on the end of it. Doesn't make sense. Wow. And credits. Whoa. Wow. Digital optical. Wow. I had a very swirly with, I think, the harp instrument that was playing. I got a kind of moving, sort of flowing sort of from the screens. Nice flowing sound. Could be a lot more. Of course, they've got to be the same bloody speaker, haven't they? In floor speakers. In-floor speakers. Oh, okay, turn that on. Oh no, one more. Oh, whoa, I feel like shit tonight. Oh, shit. Peaching that. That's good shit. I don't have to turn that one on. No, I'll turn that one off. What mode's it on? That one there should be on the. Use the 750. Use the 750. Okay. Oh, we've got to switch the what's it to analog. That's a load of this. The audio. Probably not. I would be on the. I would be on the auxiliary there.
Oh, Jim, I just can't understand this. Spot received a transmission from the Starbase. A message from the former commander of the Enterprise fleet, Captain Pike, urgently requesting that we divert him.
Gosh, it's very low on the level.
States he received a transmission. Jim, I'm not doubting anyone's word. I'm simply telling you it's impossible. Why?
Turn the fader up.
You actually don't know what's happened to Captain Pike? There's been subspace chatter about it for months. I'm sorry to have to be the one to show you. He's upstairs in the medical section. You ever met Chris Pike? We met when he was promoted to fleet captain. About your age. Big, handsome man, vital, active. I took over the Enterprise from Spock. Served with him for several years. 11 years, 4 months, 5 days. What's his problem, Commodore? Inspection tour of a cadet vessel. Old Class J starship. One of the baffle plates ruptured. The Delta rays? He went in, bringing out all those kids that were still alive. Just wanted you gentlemen to be prepared. Captain Pike? Captain? You remember these gentlemen. They wanted to visit you. 2 flashes mean no. I thought you might make an exception for them. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Chris, if there's anything I can do for you. Captain Pike, may I remain for a moment? You know why I've come, Captain. It's only 6 days away at maximum work, and I have it well planned. I have never disobeyed your orders before, Captain. But this time, I must. I know it is treachery and it's mutiny. But I must do this. I have no choice. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission
to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Once more, Jose. Spock stated he received a message for us to come here. He entered same in his log. That's all the proof I require.
And what do those record tapes show? No message sent from here. No message received by your vessel.
Then I suggest the record tapes have been deliberately changed. A computer expert can change record tapes, duplicate voices, say anything, say nothing.
The fact remains that your first officer's former captain is hospitalized, horribly injured at this base. And that same first officer seems to be the only one who heard that message
If
already.
he had wanted to see Captain Pike, he could have requested the leave. I would have granted it.
Well, that's true, of course.
Who would want to divert us here? There's no trouble in the space sector we're patrolling now. No alien problems.
Computer center.
Chief Humboldt here, sir.
Have you rechecked all the record tapes on the date in question?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way at all a message could have been sent from here without us knowing it?
Negative, Commodore. We've checked and double-checked everything possible.
All right. Start checking the impossible. And us out.
Dun, 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 doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo.
Oh, have I introduced Miss Piper, Jim? This is Captain Kirk, Miss Piper.
I recognized the captain immediately. A mutual friend described you, sir, Lieutenant Helen Johansson.
Helen, describe.
She merely mentioned she knew you, sir.
You have something to report, Miss Piper.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm afraid our investigation turned out very little, Commodore. There is, of course, Mr. Spock's years of service with Captain Pike, indications of his extreme loyalty to this former commander.
Miss Piper, a Vulcan can no sooner be disloyal than he can exist without breathing. That goes for his present commander as well as his past.
We're forced to consider extreme loyalty to this former commander.
Miss Piper, a Vulcan can no sooner be disloyal than he can exist without breathing. That goes for his present commander as well as his past.
We're forced to consider every possibility, sir. We can be certain Captain Pike could not have sent a message. In his condition, he's under observation every minute of every day.
And totally unable to move, Jim. His wheelchair is constructed to respond to his brain waves. Or he can turn it. Move it forwards, or backwards slightly.
Through the flashing light, he can say yes or no.
But that's it, Jim. That's as much as that poor devil can do. His mind is as active as yours and mine. But it's trapped inside a useless vegetating body. He's kept alive mechanically. A battery-driven heart.
And there's no way he could even have asked for that message to be sent.
Starbase operation.
Starbase operation to Enterprise. Stand by to receive new orders, Enterprise. Enterprise, stand by to receive new orders.
Data be fed directly into the ship's computers. This is top secret and scrambled.
Enterprise standing by. Enterprise standing by.
Those Foley sounds on the switching the buttons, they got a bit of bass mid to it.
Request confirmation.
Probably, if it was done, yeah, you feel it. Yeah, I can just sense it. I'll give it a little bit more level. Yeah, but yeah, it's got some bass Foley on it.
Enterprise standing by. Request confirmation.
Enterprise to Starbase. Request confirmation.
Sir, this is a security area. What are you doing here?
I have security clearance, Chief.
Who gave you clearance? I haven't been notified. You're cross-circuiting it. Attention, these.
Repeat, Enterprise to Starbase. Orders received. We need operating confirmation from the ship's captain. We need operating confirmation from the ship. Orders received. We need operating confirmation from the ship. Repeat.
Almost feel the Vulcan neck pinch there.
Enterprise to Starbase. Orders received. We need operating confirmation from the ship. Operating confirmation from the 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 ship's captain.
Feel the kind of the grip, the Vulcan grip.
Come in, Starbase. Come in, Captain Kirk.
This is Captain Kirk. You have confirmation, Miss Uhura.
Hanson here, Captain.
Our destination has been scramble fed into ship's computers. How can I handle the helm if I don't know where we're going? Mr. Spock is with me here. He'll answer all questions. Kirk out.
It's the Spock's got his own soundboard library there.
This is Mr. Spock. Ship's computers will handle the helm on this voyage, Mr. Hansen. Course will be computered and set automatically. You will not discuss this with ship's crew or Starbase personnel. Do you read?
Acknowledged, sir.
Stand by. We'll warp out of orbit in 1 hour.
Keeps blinking no. Blinking no. No to what?
We've tried questioning him. He's almost agitated himself into a coma.
How long will he live?
As long as any of us. Anyway, we've learned to tie into every human organ in the body except one. What life is all about. Brain is what life is all about. Now, that man can think any thought that we can. Love, hope, dream as much as we can. But he can't reach out, and no one can reach in.
Keeps blinking no.
No to what? No to what? They could question him for days, weeks before they stumble on the right thing.
Bones. Could this have anything to do with Spock?
I don't read your door, Jim.
I mean, is either a message was received.
It was one of two things. Either someone sent a message diverting us here, or someone on board the ship lied about receiving it. Could that someone be Mr. Spock?
Jim, forgetting how well we both know Spock, the simple fact that he's a Vulcan means he's incapable of telling a lie.
He's also half human.
And that half is completely submerged. To be caught acting like us or even thinking like us would completely embarrass him.
Someone's interfering with my command and my ship. I don't know who it is, but I mean to find out.
us or even thinking like us would completely embarrass us.
Someone's interfering with my command and my ship. I don't know who it is, but I mean to find out. Even you. If I thought you had the technical know-how, I'd suspect you, but you don't. Even you. If I thought you had the technical know-how, I'd suspect you, but you don't. Spock does.
He would not make a false entry.
There's a false entry in the log right now which doesn't jibe with the established facts. How do you...
A false entry.
There's a false entry in the log right now which doesn't jibe with the established facts. How do you explain that?
I can't. But to question Spock of all people. Me, yes. I could run off half-cocked given a good reason. So could you. But not Spock. That's impossible.
Dr. McCoy, report to transporter control. Dr. McCoy to transporter control.
McCoy here.
You needed aboard the Enterprise, Doctor. Medical emergency.
Well, what is it? Sickness? Injury? How bad is it?
That's all we have on it, Doctor. Just needed aboard.
Probably somebody discovered a hangnail. I'll beam up and let you know, dear.
For eyes of Starfleet Command only. Oh, I'm certifying I ordered you to read it. Know anything at all about this planet?
Whatever ship captain knows. General Order 7, no vessel under any condition, emergency or otherwise, is to visit Talos 4.
And to do so is the only death penalty left on our books. Only Fleet Command knows why. Not even this file explains that. But it does name the only Earth ship that ever visited the planet.
The Enterprise. Commanded by Captain Christopher Pike.
With a half-Vulcan science officer named Spock.
Commodore! Captain Pike, he's gone. Commodore! Captain Pike, he's gone.
Linda's here. What is it?
Starship Enterprise, Commodore. It's warping out of orbit. Refuses to acknowledge our signal.
I don't want it, Mr. Spock.
Seems strange with no navigator on deck.
The Enterprise knows where she's going, Mr. Hansen.
Someone's trying to hail us, sir.
Maintain radio silence, Lieutenant. This is First Officer Spock. Per Starfleet orders, this date, I've been placed in temporary command of the Enterprise. While our destination is secret, our mission is relatively simple. Starbase Command has assigned Captain Kirk medical rest leave until our return. His instructions are that you will obey my orders as you would his. First Officer out. What's going on around here? Who said Jim needed a medical rest leave? And this call about me being needed aboard the ship, I've checked everywhere, and no one from the ship made such a call. That's right. Doctor, I regret they elected to keep certain things from you. Will you come with me, please? What is this, Spock? Captain, are you all right? I see that you're still signaling. One moment, please.
Shall we reverse
Take
helm?
no action, Mr. Hansen.
But our speed will never catch us. But in case they want to reach us.
You have your orders, Mr. Hansen.
Craft 1 to Enterprise. Come in, please. Enterprise, Commodore Mendez and Captain Kirk. If you read me, you are ordered to reply. Repeating it on all emergency frequencies, Jim.
Measure object now following the Enterprise.
Computed. Object is a Class F shuttlecraft
Uranium metal shell, ion engine power.
Stop. How long before shuttlecraft's fuel supply forces return to starbase?
Computed. Shuttlecraft is already past point of safe return.
We coast. We coast.
Blast you in.
He has no right to come along.
RHIP, Captain. Rank out its privileges.
Two hours of oxygen left.
Wonderful.
Part of me is hoping that the Enterprise won't come back for us. We step on that deck, Spock is finished.
Wonderful.
Part of me is hoping that the Enterprise won't come back for us. We step on that deck, Spock is finished. Court-martial, disgrace. We step on that deck. We step on that deck, Spock is finished. Court-martial, disgraced.
He's dead. If he makes it to Talos 4. Why would he want to get Pike there? The command report stated Talos contained absolutely no practical benefits to mankind.
Spock would have some logical reason for going there.
Maybe. Maybe he's just gone mad.
I keep wondering who might be after us in a shuttlecraft. I keep coming up with the same answers. But I can't be right, can I, Mr. Spock? Computer control. Lock on to shuttlecraft following us.
Locked on. Tractor beam ready.
Go to tape Able 7 Baker. Execute instructions. Is it the captain, Mr. Spock?
Sir, the engines are reversing. She's brought herself to a dead stop.
This is the first officer speaking. Security, send an armed team to the bridge. Transporter room, stand by to beam Captain Kirk aboard. Effective until then, Lieutenant Hansen is in operational command.
Sir?
First officer out. Doctor, as senior officer present, I present myself to you for arrest. What? The charge is mutiny, Doctor. I never received orders to take command. Mutiny, Doctor. I never received orders to take command. Security reporting, Mr. Spock. Doctor. Mr. Spock is under arrest. Is confinement quarters enough? Adequate, Doctor. I'll make no trouble. Well, confine him. Yes, sir.
Store our shuttlecraft on the hangar deck.
Transferring command to you, sir.
Accepting command. And where's Mr. Spock? In his quarters, sir, under arrest.
His quarters. After what he's done, Lieutenant?
Captain from bridge, the engines are coming on.
Reverse power. Hold this position. Tell whoever gave those orders. Reverse power. Hold this position. Tell whoever gave those orders to
Sir,
report.
there's nobody up there giving orders. Mr. Spock has the computers running the ship.
Disengage computer control over her.
We can't disengage, Captain. The helm does not respond.
Computer control, come in.
Computer,
Disengage from helm.
unable to comply.
This is the captain. On voice command, you will override all contrary instructions. Voice command. Disengage from helm.
Unable to comply. System. Computer control can this planet Talos 4.
Captain's log, stardate 3012.4. Still locked on a heading for the mysterious planet Talos 4. A mutiny requires a trial board of no less than 3 command officers, since there are only 2 of that rank available.
Sir, I must point out that there are 3 officers of command rank available. Yourself, Commodore Mendez, and Captain Christopher Pike.
Denied. Captain Pike is a complete invalid.
I believe you'll find he's still on the active duty list.
We didn't have the heart to retire him, Jim. He's got you. Whatever he's up to, he's planned it well. We didn't have the heart to retire him, Jim. He's got you. Whatever he's up to, he's planned it well.
What is...
Mr. Spock has again waived counsel and has entered a plea of guilty.
Should this vessel enter the Talos Star Group? Were any record tapes of this nature made during your voyage? The court is not obliged.
Exciting.
All right. I go into business on regular, sir.
Wow.
Do you read? All some sort of trap. This is all some sort of trap. We've lost the captain. Do you read?
From planet Talos 4, in violation of Starfleet General Orders.
Receiving transmissions from Talos 4. And the images we've been seeing are
coming from Talos 4, sir. Commodore must be aware that Captain Kirk knew nothing of this.
And you're aware that a captain is responsible for everything that occurs on his ship. I order you to return this vessel back to manual control.
I respectfully decline.
Do you know what you're doing? Have you lost your mind? Do you know what you're doing? Have you lost your mind?
Captain, Jim, please. Don't stop me. Don't let him stop me. It's your career and Captain Pike's life. You must see the rest of the transmission.
Lock him up.
Shh, shh. Surprised. Surprised the analog can hold up. Doesn't seem to have like severe laser visual rot, but analog track's just a little bit crackly. That's what makes it so great. Alright. That's enough of that. Visual off. Oh, I like blue screen. Why don't they have green screen? Green screen. Blue screen. Could do visual effect with that. I've got a blue screen. Oh, visuals. Toot. It's about as low as the noises in the room. So what's this going on down there? Is that an imaginary? Is it real? Bit skeptical about that. That range maybe there, down, left, there. 5. What's rating 5? What's rating 20? What's rating 30? Mm-hmm. Turn that off. Oh, fuck. Anyway, I think my shot